The 1 Minute Apologist's videos are never really 1 minute long. I'm starting to think that this is not how he got that nickname.
Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
Frank, I think it would be helpful for our audience. I know it was for me when I was in Bible college and seminary, learning how to understand hermeneutics, the science of understanding the Bible, and in particular as it relates to metaphor, because I really do think we can paint an inaccurate picture of God if we're ultra wooden in our interpretations. And as it relates to the afterlife, and in hell in particular, we see certain metaphorical language. How do we understand metaphors when we're reading the Bible?
Yeah, it's difficult sometimes to figure it out, just like any text. You know, is this person trying to communicate something literal, or is this person trying to communicate something literal through a metaphor? Because the metaphor is always trying to communicate some literal truth, just not in a literal way. When I read and you read in the Bible, Jesus is the door, we know it means the way. We don't think he has hinges or a doorknob, right? And so, as we said earlier, when we're looking at these issues related to hell, we're looking at fire on one hand and outer darkness on the other. They would seem to be contradictory, because how are you going to have outer darkness and fire at the same time? Fire gives light. It seems to communicate destruction.
It doesn't seem that way to me. The fire is supposed to last forever, as does the soul of the person burning, so what is being destroyed?
Also, we're talking about beings, Satan and demons, that are immaterial. How would fire affect an immaterial being? It wouldn't.
What the fuck is an immaterial being? How would anything affect or be affected by such a thing?
But it would affect an immaterial being if it meant to be separated from the only source of goodness, or the ultimate source of goodness, and that is God. That's literally what hell is.
What the fuck does being separated from a god have to do with destruction? How the fuck does fire represent separation? How the fuck can anything be separated from a supposedly omnipresent being? And isn't hell supposed to be something everyone would want to avoid? Why would an anti-theist want to avoid separation from a god? If hell is just separation from a god, it sounds like something an anti-theist would want to strive for. What would be the point of wanting to save someone from hell if they would prefer it over heaven? I don't know if you've heard, but I do have a Patreon.